Alright. So I decided I'm just going to jump right into this. Um, we got one game left in the trilogy, and I know what's going to happen. I'm presuming there's going to be a tutorial case for this first one, but I guess we'll see what happens. Alright, seems like this should be interesting.
On the western edge of the Far East, lies a peaceful country of spirit mediums and mystery, the Kingdom of Khurain.
So that's how you pronounce that.
But now, the flames of revolution are threatening to consume it whole. But things like revolt and revolution were the furthest things from my mind when I first arrived in this land.
Here in Khurain, death is not the end. Even after death, the soul lives on in the Twilight Realm. And priestesses can commune with the spirits of the dead. Fear not death. In the name of the Holy Mother. Fear only the impurities of your soul. Alright. Blight on my soul. I'll have the child take the blame. So I presume the Fae clan is going to show up for this one. Unless this is somehow just unrelated but similarly named. Ooh, I'm finally here. So this is the Kingdom of Khurain. A long trip. I wonder how many hours I was in the air. Let's just look at this place. Oh, look, the street. It really feels like I'm in another world here. And a gorgeous temple. I read that's the center of town. Wow, an ox right in the middle of the street. I have to get a picture. Really, Phoenix? It's just an ox. I don't know if it's that important. Excuse me, sir. I don't know what kind of bird that is. I've never seen anything like it. It's quite a crest it has on its head. Excuse me, sir. Well, oh, yes. Pardon me, but are you Mr. Wright? Yes, that's right. Oops, hope he hasn't been trying to get my attention all this time. Wait a minute, are you... That's right. I'll be your guide. At your service. Some things never change. A monk in training at the Temple, and I'll be your guide around town. This very nice to meet you. Haparaki. Happy what now? Haparaki. That's how we greet people here in Kurain. It's like hello, or how do you do? It's a pretty handy expression to know. Okay, let me give it a try. Hello, I'm Phoenix Wright. Haparaki. My name is Phoenix Wright. I run a small law office. Well, that's what I do back home anyway. Right now I'm just a traveler, a stranger in a strange land. Welcome to our country. Welcome to the Kingdom of Kurain, land of spirit mediums and mystery. This is for you. Celebrate your arrival. So speaking of mystery, what is this mysterious green lump exactly? Let me explain. This is a famous Kurainese sweet bun. It's called a magataman, or soul bun. Shaped like a magatama, it's so yummy it'll send your soul right to the Twilight Realm. That doesn't exactly make me eager to try it. But thanks. I think I'll indulge later. That will be 20 damas. Thank you for your patronage. I have to pay? I always have plenty of those on hand, so just let me know if you ever want any more. No wonder his bag looks so heavy. It's stuffed with all the tools of his trade. Oops, I almost forgot to tell you something really important. It's about Miss Maya. Okay. She can't come see you for a few days yet. Yeah, when I called her from the airport, she said she was still training up in the mountains. I told her I'd wait for her here. Either way, I was glad to hear she's in good spirits. Maya Fey. She's a spirit medium who used to work as my assistant. Came all the way out here to celebrate the end of her ascetic? I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce that. Training with her. Albie, this is my first time in this country, so I'll be counting on you, okay? You got it, sir. Please don't hesitate if you need anything at all. Maya's right when she told me I could leave everything in your capable hands. Oh, shucks, she said that? That sure was nice of her. I had a chance to show Miss Maya around a little bit, too. There's one person Maya was worried about, it's me. Because we both know trouble likes to follow you wherever you go, she said. No worries too much. She sure came early to the party, Mr. Wright, sir. I mean, Miss Maya won't be done with her training for another 2 weeks. Ugh, I hate to admit it, but I came early because I was worried about her, too. Oh, well, you know. I thought I'd get in a little sightseeing first. Ooh, sightseeing? Well, I'm your man for that. I'll show you all the best sights this country has to offer. But thanks. That would be great. I guess Albie takes his job very seriously. Well, what are we waiting for? Those sights aren't going to see themselves. Yikes, you don't have to shove. First stop, Temple, right here in the center of town. Something there I really want to show you. Wow, it's even more impressive up close. Allow me to explain. This is the heart of our town, Temple. It was created by the founder of Kurainism, the Holy Mother herself. I'm training right here at this temple to be a monk someday. The people of this country are all adherents of Kurainism. According to my guidebook, it's a religion in which ancestral spirits are venerated. The Holy Mother was a great spirit medium who could commune with our ancestors' souls. The spirit mediums become queen to this day, direct descendants of the Holy Mother. The spirit medium rules the entire country, huh? Talk about power and influence. The main thing you'll want to see when you come to Temple is the Dance of Devotion rite. The Dance of Devotion takes place twice, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. This dance, along with the Song of Ceremony, is performed in offering to the Holy Mother. The Dance of Devotion is the power to summon forth souls from the Twilight Realm. Hold it, slow down. Can't remember all of that at once. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I got a little overexcited. Anyway, the main thing I got from all that is that you really, really love your country. Well, that's sure true. I like this kid. Pours his heart into everything he does. Let's see. I guess I just explained about half of what I usually explain. So I'll give you a special discount and only charge you 10 damas for the tour fee. Thank you for your patronage. I guess he pours his heart into aggressive salesmanship, too. Come to think of it, Miss Maya told me she could tell I love my country, too. I stood here for about an hour while I told her all about the Holy Mother. Really? An hour? That counted as patience training. She seemed really interested, too. She listened to my whole speech. Huh. It doesn't sound like the Maya I know. Miss Maya is so kind and nice. She treats me really well, like a little brother. She's kind of like a big sister to me. This is Maya Fey you're talking about, right? Maybe she's grown up since I last saw her. It's been several years now. Oh no! What's the matter? Is it that time already? We have to hurry to the temple right away. But first, let me give you this lyrics card for the Song of Ceremony I told you about. It's an English translation of the lyrics there too, so give it a read, okay? Let's go. But why the big rush? Oh, hurry, we'll miss the beginning of Her Benevolence's Dance of Devotion. Her Benevolence? Uh-oh.
I'll be your guide. You're under arrest for treason.
Well, I mean, of course, this was going to happen to Phoenix Wright. If he shows up anywhere for any length of time, a murder is going to happen, and he's going to have to be the defense attorney. Let me in. Why would you let me in? Because you're a foreigner. What business could you have with this court? I told you, my friend is on trial in there. Police raided the temple in the middle of a dance performance yesterday and arrested Albie on suspicion of treason. I was worried about Albie, so I just had to come see his trial. The trial isn't a tourist attraction, so clear off. If you want a picture for your scrapbook, take one of me and get out of here. But look, you've got it all wrong. It's great. Well, I guess there's only one thing to do. I mean, that's not true, so... Yes, I'm a foreigner, but I'm not your average foreigner. What? I'm actually a lawyer. Back at home, anyway. What? A lawyer? I can't... That's not possible. What? What's he so shocked about? Well, whatever. Now's my chance. Nothing wrong with a lawyer entering the courtroom, right? Wait, get back here, you. Chinese courtroom. It looks kind of familiar. Oh boy. Hey, isn't that her benevolence? What's she doing here in court? The divination seance has been performed. I will now hand down my verdict against the accused. What? A verdict already? But the trial only just started. You're guilty? There's gotta be some kind of mistake. Please take another look. Seances performed by Princess Rafa are infallible. They show only the truth. What right do you have to question her abilities? But I didn't... Really? This guy? Isn't it ironic that you, a devout adherent of Kurainism, would dare doubt her insight? Non-believers will only be met with suffering in the Twilight Realm, you know. Of course this guy is here, somehow. But I didn't do it. Your benevolence, allow me to explain, I beg of you. Be silent, impudent whelp. There is no merit to be had in indulging the ramblings born of a criminal's unclean soul. But what in the world is going on here? The judge made his ruling based on something called a divination seance? What is Alby's attorney doing? Wait a minute. Where is Alby's attorney? Why is this happening? I didn't do anything wrong. Foolish child. Doubting the divination seance is tantamount to doubting the Holy Mother herself. Your Majesty, as Royal Priestess and in the name of the Holy Mother, I command you, impose the highest penalty against this unclean soul. As you command, so shall it be done, your benevolence. May your holiness grant us her divine favor. Urdihara Kurayin.
Objection!
Time to stick our nose in it. Wait just one moment. You're... me and my big mouth. Now what? Mr. Wright? What are you doing here, sir? Well, I'm in it now, so I have to do this right. Slap the table. Your Honor, it's too soon to give your verdict. This trial has only been underway for a few minutes. Excuse me? Who on earth are you? I'm, well... an ordinary tourist, Your Honor, just passing through. A tourist, are you? Hapiraki. But more importantly, where is this boy's defense attorney? Defense attorney? Whatever are you talking about? He doesn't need a defense attorney. Wait, what? Of course you wouldn't be aware, being a foreigner and all. But we have no need for defense attorneys here in the kingdom of Kurain. We leave it all up to her benevolence's sacred power of spirit communion. Her divination seances determine all. What? Surely you see how unfair that is. What kind of insane court system are they running here? You would dare mock me, you barb-headed buffoon? If you value your life, you will leave post-haste. Or shall I summon the bailiff? The bailiff is that big scary dude with the big scary gun, isn't he? I'm sure he would be happy to oblige you with a bullet or two as a souvenir of your travels. The cost of an arm and a leg, no doubt. Now hold on, Mr. Wright has nothing to do with any of this. Albie. I appreciate what you're trying to do, Mr. Wright, but never mind about me. And you just go ahead and go see Miss Maya. But forget about me. You have to go now. I'm sure you can find another guide. There were lots more places I wanted to show you, but it looks like I won't get a chance now. I'm sorry. The poor kid. He's trying to put on a brave face, but look how terrified he is. What can I do? What should I do? I can't just let a verdict be handed down with nobody standing in Alby's corner. If Alby doesn't have a defense attorney, then I'll do it. I'll defend him. To defend him? You can't be serious. Did you hear that? Is he out of his mind? Heaven forbid. Defend me, Mr. Wright? What are you saying? Can't do that. I most certainly can. Don't worry, I'm quite used to tackling all sorts of trials. Besides, can you imagine how furious Maya would be if I let anything happen to you? Mr. Wright? You are but a naive tourist, ignorant of our ways. But if you are smart, you will heed my advice. Do not pursue this matter any further. It's like defending somebody is easier said than done in this country. Bailiff, throw this man out. Your Majesty, if you please. You have something to say, Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne. Why not allow it, Your Majesty? Why not have him defend the accused? Could prove very interesting. Right, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Right. Mr. whoever you are. Prosecutor, are you acquainted with this traveler? That's Chief Prosecutor, Your Majesty. And yes, I am acquainted with him. He's a defense attorney from my native land. Wait, seriously? I've had dealings with him in the courtroom before. Heavens to Betsy. What? Mr. Wright? You're a... Yes, I said this before. Defense attorney. Well, this is a shock. You may be surprised to hear that I have more than 10 years of experience. Guess there aren't all that many lawyers around here. Your Majesty, would you kindly allow us to proceed in the manner of my old country? But, Mr. Payne, I've already made a ruling in this case. Call it nostalgia if you will, but I'm most eager to give it a try. I have a previous engagement, you see, class together with the missus. Your Majesty, I agree we should have a whack at it. It sounds amusing. A score of years have passed since we last saw a defense attorney in this courtroom. A score? As in 20 years? What's the deal with this country? Mr. Payne, I want that barbed head brought to me on a stick. As you wish, Your Benevolence. I, Chief Prosecutor Payne, will see to it myself. Very well, Mr. Payne. If that is what you and Her Benevolence want, I will acquiesce. Acquiesce? As for the defense, I hope you are prepared for every eventuality. Every eventuality? What is he talking about? There. Are you satisfied now, Mr. Wright? Yes, thank you, Mr. Payne. I'm sorry for not remembering you earlier. That's Chief Prosecutor, or the Incredible Payne, as I am also known in this country. Yeah, he's an incredible pain, alright. See soon enough just why that is, when you're forced to capitulate to me before this very court of law. Why is he so strangely confident? And not only that, but what's with the gallery? Also, Phoenix, you have no idea what's just happened in this courtroom for the last 5 minutes. So you watch, that defense attorney will try and twist the truth. You can bet on it. Get him, Chief Prosecutor. Crush that defense devil. This is way more lawyer hate than even back home. If you would please give your opening argument once again, Mr. Payne. Certainly, Your Majesty. Accused is charged with 2 crimes, larceny and murder. Yesterday, the Founder's Orb was stolen from the treasure room of Temple. In addition to the theft, 2 other things were discovered in the treasure room. The dead body of Mr. Patrol, Temple's security guard, and the empty treasure box that housed the orb which Mr. Roll was in charge of guarding. I believe that Mr. Roll was murdered by the thief who stole the treasure. To kill a guard armed with a gun, what a terrifyingly bold act. Couldn't agree more, Your Majesty. Please allow me to submit as evidence the victim's autopsy report and crime photo. It's been a long time since we had evidence presented in court as well. It's kind of refreshing, actually. We may rely on the power of the seances, but our police still carry out investigations. Thus, any proof I provide is indisputable. Oh, really? Well, forgive me if I don't just take your word for it. You can check the evidence out myself by looking at the court record. See how thorough you and your police were, Mr. Payne. Interesting. Cerebral contusion from a head injury. Okay. So he got whacked. Oh, this happened just like earlier today. Okay, looks like a cart. Some blood on the container behind him, which makes it look like that was what was used to hit him with. Also blood on his glove. His gun is holstered and there's some kind of scroll next to him. Okay. It's a deplorable crime. The audacity of stealing the sacred treasure of Her Holiness, our founding mother. It's a crime that strikes at the very heart of our nation. Exactly, Your Majesty. We mustn't let the culprit get away with these heinous deeds. Indeed, such deeds are best described as treason against the crown. Is this treasure really such a valuable object? How can you even ask such a thing? Of course it is. Why, sealed within this treasure is the very soul, the Mitama of the Holy Mother. Her soul is sealed within the treasure? I think I'll take that with a grain of salt. You don't believe it, do you? Of course I believe it. Something tells me I'd better play along. This kind of irreverence is exactly why I dislike defense attorneys so much. Your Honor, Your Majesty. What is it now? This treasure. I've never seen it, so it's a little hard for me to imagine. Could I see a photo of it or something? Of all the outlandish requests, you defense attorneys are truly beyond the pale. He's getting awfully angry with me, and are those veins popping out of his forehead? It's forbidden for anyone outside of the royal family to view the treasure itself. They say that anyone without the proper spiritual power would be blinded instantly. Then how did they steal it? This is why the average person has never seen the treasure, Mr. Wright. I guess there are national treasures that are off limits to the public back home, too. For the benefit of the shamelessly uninformed defense, let me share this newspaper article. It includes photos taken about 8 years ago when the treasure was unearthed. Okay, so... there's a lock mechanism. There's like some stuff on the top. There's a butterfly on one of the panels on the back, presumably. There's only public photos of the outer box in existence. Well, I mean... that's probably it right there, right? Although that photo may not be public. What's more, the treasure box only leaves the temple's treasure room but once a year. For a special New Year's rite that takes place in the palace. Before, this treasure box has only ever been seen by a handful of people. Huh. I hear there's been a string of thefts lately of historic artifacts from the temple. Right, Your Majesty. Inexcusable thievery of precious national treasures for personal gain. And the culprit is the accused. So he used his position as monk in training to get his hands on the treasure. Is that it? The accused's family is by no means wealthy. To help with family finances, he works as a tour guide in addition to his ascetic training. Thank you for giving an excellent outline of the case, Mr. Payne. Now then, no more questions from the defense, I presume. What? No, I do have questions. Even more, but you just asked a bunch. I'll make it snappy. My class starts in just a few short minutes. He's still planning on going to that thing? there's still a lot I don't know about the case. I should ask now while I have a chance. Let's see, what else do I need to know more about? I mean, the motive... Motive seems pretty cut and dry. We at least think we know what the weapon is. Let's ask about the crime scene first. The crime take place. What? As I already stated, it was in the treasure room of the temple. That's right. Oh. You haven't been paying attention. The lying lawyers, not only do they lack morals, but memory too. He apparently has all the brain power. Man, I was hoping you could get a little more, like, I don't know. Base of the stairs to the altar. Okay. But I mean... Was there any... I guess everything took place there. Okay, fine. That explains why he has a crest like a rooster. No matter where I go in the world, the insults are always the same. Magistrate, please let me try... Let's see. The weapon. I guess then. And what was the murder weapon? The murder weapon was the treasure box itself. The empty treasure box left at the scene had a large blood stain on it. Hardly reprehensible, using the sacred treasure box for murder. See, this is what I was looking for. Accused came to the treasure room with the express purpose of stealing the treasure. Climbed the altar stairs and snatched the box ready to abscond with it. He was discovered by Mr. Roll, who had come to the room in the course of his rounds. After walloping Mr. Roll in the head with the treasure box, the accused forced the bloodied housing open and made off with the treasure inside. The defendant is just a little boy. I hardly think he would be able to hit the victim, a grown man, on the head. A very good point, Mr. Wright. But I'm afraid that won't help you. At the time of the crime, the accused was on the stairs leading up to the altar. The accused's elevated position would more than make up for their difference in stature. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Wait! Hold on. If he's at the bottom of the stairs... If he hit him at the top of the stairs, why would he carry the box all the way down the stairs to open it afterwards and discard it next to the body? Why wouldn't he break it open at the top of the stairs and leave it there instead? Mr. Payne, your reasoning is flawless. What an elegant argument. Hats off to you, Chief Prosecutor. Title is obviously well earned. Well, the accused's guilt is certainly conclusive. Unless there's anything else, I am ready to announce my verdict. Very well. In that case, I find the accused. Just one moment, Your Majesty. Don't you think you're rushing the verdict just a little bit? I told you, I have plans to attend to, and... Ah! I'm late. It's already started. How did the time fly by so fast? He's still stuck on that. We haven't even heard the defendant's side of the story yet. Your Majesty, the defense asserts its right to cross-examine the defendant. Huh? Did I say something funny? Cross-examine the... What do you mean by that? What? What do you mean, what do I mean? I seem to have some dim recollection of the process, but I can't quite recall. And little wonder, a so-called defendant hasn't been questioned in over 20 years. Should I even be surprised anymore? May I demand we let the defendant or the accused tell his side of the story? Is that really necessary? Of course it's necessary, Your Majesty. What harm could it do? I say we allow the boy to speak, Your Majesty. Though I doubt he'll have anything of relevance to say. Well, how kind of you, Your Royal Payne-ness. Very well. As long as it's okay with you, Mr. Payne. I'm already hopelessly late for my class anyway. In that case, the prosecution calls the accused back to the witness stand. Oh, before we do, I'd better call my wife and apologize for missing that class. Any objections? Go for it, Your Majesty. Oh, boy. Accused, state your name and occupation again, if you would. I'm in training to be a monk, and I'm a tour guide, too. Why me? Now, where were we? Cross-examining the defendant, Your Majesty. Right. Let's do that, then. At the defense attorney's insistence, I might add. He sounds a little dispirited. His wife must have given him a piece of her mind. Well, the defense had better get to it. Make it quick, if you please. The defense... Mr. Wright, I didn't know you were a lawyer. Well, I am, and I'm here to defend you, Albie. Don't worry. All you have to do is tell the truth, and you'll be all right. You tricked me. What? If I knew you were a lawyer, I wouldn't have given you that tour. Give back that Magataman I gave you yesterday. Albie, what's gotten into you? Don't talk to me. You disgust me. Now even Albie's against me? But why? This must be a new experience for you, Mr. Wright, being loathed by a client. Actually, I don't know if it's all that new, to be honest. Accused, please give the court your testimony. The incident occurred around noon, during the break between the morning and afternoon dances of devotion. I want you to tell the court what you were doing around that time. All right. I didn't kiss Mr. Roll, and I didn't steal the treasure. I'm not allowed to go anywhere near the treasure room. Never even seen that treasure box with the green Kurayanese butterfly on it. When the incident happened, I was in the hallway planning out my tour route. I can already tell he's lying. He used to chat with me whenever we ran into each other at the temple. Mr. Roll was a monk in training when he was a kid too, you know. But Albie looked up to him. He had to give that up and go to work when his family needed money. That's why he became a guard, but at least that way he could still stay on at the temple. He was so proud when he was put in charge of guarding the treasure box. He even got to carry the box to the palace for the New Year's rite. The victim's parents apparently both died relatively young, so Mr. Roll had to support his younger brothers and sisters as well. But even with his job as a security guard, I'm sure things couldn't have been easy for him. Sounds like his circumstances in Albie's were very similar. Mr. Roll encouraged me to never give up. Albie, you train hard and make sure you become a monk one day. Don't end up like me, he'd say. He was always cheering me on in my training and in my tour guide business, too. Why in the world would I kill a nice man like that? Yes, I see. You expressed yourself well. Defense, now that you've heard the accused account, are you finally satisfied? If so, let's draw this to an expeditious conclusion. Your Majesty, I haven't even cross-examined the defendant yet. That wasn't the end of it. It's been so long, I don't really recall what this cross-examining thing is all about. A judge who doesn't know what a cross-examination is? What fresh hell is this? I really do wish I could remember how it works. Should I give the judge a... You know, I don't really need one, but I kind of want to hear this, just to see how it plays out. Guess I better, or we'll never get anywhere. Your Majesty, please allow me to explain the procedure. First, we lawyers listen carefully to a witness's testimony. Then we use present to open the court record and examine the evidence. And why would you do that? To find and present any evidence that's inconsistent with the statements given. Present? I certainly don't need any gifts from you. Clearly, something is getting lost in translation with His Majesty. The point is, it's possible that a statement could contain a lie or mistake. But what do you do if you can't find any inconsistencies in a witness testimony? In that case, we may press the witness for more information. Pressing a statement might reveal new information or even entirely new statements. Presenting evidence is one thing, but pressing witnesses? I'll have you know, defense, that I do not allow any violence in my courtroom. But rest assured, only gentle verbal pressure is used, no physical force involved. Well, I'm not convinced. After all, who knows what sort of tactics an attorney will resort to. One false move and I'll call the bailiff. Yeah, something's definitely getting lost in there. For now, I should just focus all of my energy on questioning Albie, and comparing his statements with the information in the court record. Alright, give me one moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I need to get some water. I see we're back to using 5 specific points instead of like a health bar. Kind of like the first game. Interesting.
Hold it!
I believe you didn't do either of those things, did you? You do? But you're a lawyer. Of course you'd say that. Now, there's no need for that. But he's right. Lawyers always claim their client is innocent, even if they have to lie. Just like you're doing right now, accused. Don't lump me in with that lawyer. I'm not lying. I didn't steal anything, and I didn't kill anybody.
Hold it!
You're not allowed to go near the treasure room. Why is that? It's a rule of the temple. They keep a lot of important things in that room. Yes, like the Founder's Orb in particular. Only the royal family may lay eyes on it. Didn't Mr. Payne say anyone without spiritual power would go blind? I heard you wouldn't be blinded if you just looked at the outer treasure box. But I've never been anywhere near the treasure room. I'm too scared. You've got to believe me. Yeah, this is the one that seems fishy, because how would he know that it's green?
Hold it!
Looks like a butterfly on it. Yeah, the newspaper article is in black and white. The sign here carved on the back of the box. I see it now. It's a sacred butterfly said to carry the soul or mitama of the departed. Its wings form a loop that cradles the mitama and carries it to the Twilight Realm. As you can see, there's even one depicted here behind me at the judge's bench. Yeah, but that one isn't green. Well, the part in the middle is green. The rest of it isn't. Well, what do you know? There it is. Though it kind of looks like he's about to be carried off to the Twilight Realm himself. Anyway, I've never even seen this treasure box. Besides...
Hold it!
Planning out your tour route? Yes, I was planning out a tour for you. For me? Well, thank you, Albie. I wouldn't have done it if I knew you were a lawyer. Waste all that time on you. Give it back. Sadly, I'm a lawyer, not a Time Lord. Actually, as soon as he heard that's what I am, he's been like a totally different person. I certainly don't think Albie committed murder. However... that outburst really makes me wonder if he'd willingly tell me the truth. I'd better compare statements. Yeah. Alright.
Objection!
Albie, why would you lie to me? You say you've never laid eyes on the treasure box, is that right? That's right, and it's forbidden, so I'd never do that. In that case, how did you know there was a green butterfly on it? Huh? Because I saw a picture of it in that newspaper article. Nope, take another look. These photos are in black and white. You couldn't possibly tell what the color of the butterfly is from these pictures. Mm-hmm. Hold on. This bag, did it just move? Polkunka? Beg your pardon? Polkunka is a word in Kurainese that people use when they're surprised. Oh, I see. You just exposed a lie, so this is the power of cross-examination, is it? I should be the one shocked here by your shocking lack of understanding. But, just a moment. The accused was lying, and that just makes him more suspicious than ever. And this just makes things worse for me than ever. Albie, are you hiding something? Please give only true statements. I can't help you if you don't tell the truth. Darn, I just can't seem to get him to open up to me. So, accused, you have seen the treasure box with your own eyes after all, haven't you? Well, maybe I did take a peek one time a long time ago when I was cleaning the treasure room. But you weren't in the treasure room at the time of the incident, right? Of course I wasn't.
Objection!
That is a lie. You were most definitely inside the treasure room on the day of the incident. And I have proof. He does? This was found on the floor of the treasure room. It's a scroll entitled Notice and contains a list of temple monk duties. These instructions pertain to the day of the incident. And what exactly is that supposed to prove? The accused's fingerprints were found on the scroll. What? Oh no! Where is it? It's not here. I must have dropped it somewhere. Indeed, you must have dropped it when you were busy murdering the victim. No. Then that means Albie was there on the day of the incident? Ha ha ha. So this is the power of cross-examination. The more the accused talks, the guiltier he paints himself. Yes, it would seem so, your majesty. He predicted my argument, had evidence ready to refute it. How is any of that supposed to help the accused? See, I told you can't trust lawyers and their lies. Her benevolence already said the kid's guilty. Just declare him guilty and get it over with. No, everything's going all wrong. What do I do? As I suspected, this cross-examination session has served no purpose whatsoever. No, you're wrong. But armed as we are with her benevolence's insight, there's no reason to doubt his guilt. I guess I'll just have to poke holes in this insight of hers. By the way, this didn't prove to be very interesting at all, Mr. Payne. Nevertheless, I will now finally announce my verdict. Wait just one moment, your majesty. I haven't seen this divination seance for myself yet. As a defense, I have the right to check it. Is that really necessary? I have to get home and apologize to my wife. I guess she really did give him the business. Your Majesty, I enthusiastically support having Mr. Wright see the seance. You do? And why is that, Mr. Payne? Don't you want to see it? See the lawyer being utterly crushed by the power of the seance? And then watch him tearfully beg for mercy? Well now, I'm sure it'll make up for not getting to go to that class with your wife. It certainly does sound worth seeing, and it'd give me a juicy tidbit to tell the missus. Ha 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 ha. I've been reduced to a juicy tidbit? Well, for an interloper, I imagine you do have to see it for yourself to be convinced. It's certainly unprecedented, but let's have the divination seance performed again. But then, right after the tearful begging, I really do have to be going. My tearful begging is going to come from the prosecution when we're through. How pitiful the defense looks, still scrambling desperately for a foothold. Blissfully unaware that defeat and despair are all that await him. Oh boy. There she is, her benevolence. Your benevolence, Refa Padma Kurain. Thank you for coming all this way once again. Your gratitude is unnecessary. This is simply my duty. Barb-headed attorney. Yes? I'm told you question the veracity of the sacred divination seance. It would seem the depths of your irreverence and blasphemy are lost on you. I'm just a foreigner, ignorant in the ways and customs of this country. Apologize in advance for anything rude I might say or do, your benevolence. All I want is a fair trial for Albie. You would imply that the trials of this country are unfair? Do explain, outsider. How verdicts founded on truths imparted by the very souls of the dead lack impartiality. It's fair about trials with no defense and no chance for the accused to tell their story. How dare you speak to her benevolence in that manner? Did you hear that? Did you hear how he talked to her benevolence? What does he know about anything? Ignorant outsider. He won't stand for it. He must be punished. Yikes. I barely stuck my foot in it this time. Punish him. Punish him! Oh boy. Silence, one and all. Is she standing up for me? Be not disquieted, my people. He merely expresses his opinion. Well, looks like her benevolence is going to be more reasonable than I thought. Attorneys are ghastly creatures, with souls stained black by brazen untruths. The words of a lowly worm such as that are not worth troubling yourselves over. Wow! Alright, I take that back. None of his prattling can sway the truth of my insights. Rest assured, he will soon see the error of his foolish ways. Now then, your benevolence, the divination seance, if you would. Certainly. Naina, my robe.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
What just happened? An image appeared in the pool. A final message from the victim's soul, the last communication of his Mitama. The divination seance has revealed this to us. Her benevolence can use her power of spirit communion to project the victim's memories of the last few moments before their demise. So what we saw in the pool is what Mr. Roll actually experienced. The victim's memories, we see the accused raising a weapon up over his head. This is consistent with the findings of the police investigation. But there has to be some kind of mistake. I didn't do it. This looks bad for all of you. Really, really bad. Now do you see why I'm in incredible pain? More than I can express. But even if those really are the victim's last memories, what can I do with them? There it is. There's the face of a man being utterly crushed. How long I've waited to see it. Isn't it wonderfully gratifying, Your Majesty? Oh yes, very satisfying indeed. Now you finally convinced Traveler. The accused is most assuredly guilty. Am I really the only unbiased one here? Now then, I think we've been amused enough. If you give up now, I won't even invoke the Defense Culpability... The Defense Culpability Act? You'd be free to slink back to your own country with your tail between your legs. What's that? What? You mean you honestly don't know? No? I mean, he did just kind of charge in here. What's with all the hubbub? Well, well. Not only is he a lying, black-hearted lawyer, he's also an imbecile. Your Majesty, I think you'd better explain the Defense Culpability Act to him. Yes, I think I'd better. The Defense Culpability Act, or DC Act for short, is as follows. In the name of Her Eminence, those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. In other words, if you help the accused by defending him and he is found guilty, you will receive the same sentence as he. What? What kind of insane law is that? In the DC Act, many an attorney has been convicted and met with a grim fate. Some went to prison, others received the death penalty. That's why there are so few in our country today who admit to being an attorney. That's as it should be. The history of our courts proves that. Attorneys are black-souled creatures who will tell any lie to save the accused. Thus, attorneys deserve to be exterminated. Oh boy. Never saw so much hostility coming at me from so many sides. What could have happened to make everyone feel this way? Fell right into my trap, Phoenix Wright. Your win streak against me and my brother ends today. With the Seance and the DC Act on my side, I'll finally get my revenge. So that's why he was so eager to have me defend Alvi. Chased out and humiliated back home, fate brought me to the foothills of Khura'in. I thank my lucky stars that I'm chief prosecutor here now. Defense, know that if I rule that the accused is guilty, you will go to prison too. That explains Alvi's reaction earlier. Defend me, Mr. Wright. What are you saying? Yeah. Your Majesty, isn't a prison sentence a bit lenient? After all, we're talking about treason. One should pay for such a crime with one's life. Yes, I believe the death penalty might be appropriate under these circumstances. The death penalty? No way. You're kidding, right, Your Majesty? Do I look like I'm kidding? I'll have you put your life and your dark-tainted soul on the line here. Death? This can't be happening. The courts of resignation. Our courts are well known as thus. In this land where my seances provide the truth and no attorneys can intervene, criminals know that all they can do is resign themselves to their fate. Oh, foreign lawyer, I ask you once more, are you sure you still want to defend the accused? There's Maya to think of in all of this, too. I can't just lay down my life. What in the world should I do? Of course you're going to continue the defense. Isn't this why I became a lawyer in the first place? To help those with no one on their side? I can't just abandon everything I believe in. All I can do now is stand firm and fight. Well, don't hold your tears back on my account, Phoenix Wright. Admit your defeat and grovel before me, the chief prosecutor, for your life.
Objection!
Even if it means being subject to the Defense Culpability Act, I will defend Alvi. But Mr. Wright... The defendant insists he's innocent, and not even a divination seance should be accepted without examination. Pokunka. If I'm found guilty, you'll get the death penalty, too. Even knowing that, you still want to defend me? I don't know what happened in the past, but it looks like everyone in this country considers lawyers to be liars. So I can understand if you don't believe me. But I still believe in you and your innocence. So all I have to do is keep believing and find the truth. That's all there is to it. Barb-headed attorney, you continue to amuse me. Though your barbed jabs are proving to be more than mere jokes. Your benevolence. Believe me when I say that this attorney will knock your insides out. Insolent, disrespectful attorney. You'll have plenty of time to regret your folly in the Twilight Realm. Not a wise move, Traveler. Not wise at all. You should have taken the chance I offered to save your life. But you have made your choice. The Defense Culpability Act will be applied in this case. And with this verdict, you'll both soon be parting with your heads. The souls of the departed speak only the truth, and I but give their messages a voice. See, here's the thing. They're still souls of people. People still don't get everything right, just because they're about to die. If you think my insights contain falsehood, I challenge you to prove it. The accused swung whatever he was holding down on the victim's head. With the pain, the victim's vision went dark. This is when he lost his life. Still, I can't believe it. A murder after the morning dance of devotion. These are the victim's experiences just before his death. As the victim's final memories, we can assume they aren't lies. So how do I break this down? Allow me to relieve you of your ignorance, defense. Did you notice the words that appeared in the seance vision? Think of it, I did see words, like Song of Ceremony and Incense. The victim's final memories are not limited to sight alone. Sight, smell, taste, sound, touch, all is laid bare in the pool of souls. So what Mr. Roll experienced with his 5 senses appears in the vision as words, right? Precisely, and by examining these sensations, we can perceive the victim's final moments with unparalleled clarity. Works for me. I can use all the extra information I can get. Now to find a contradiction between her insights and the seance vision. Your benevolence asks that you please show me the seance vision again. Very well. Yeah, so he smells incense coming from the bag. Hears the Song of Ceremony in the boy's voice. If he hears the Song of Ceremony, doesn't that mean the divination ceremony pain? He feels pain. Benevolence said after the morning dance of devotion earlier, didn't she? There's something off about that, yeah. Use LNS to make my way to the insight that seems off. Yes, this is the insight that sounded funny. I'll just carefully compare this insight with the seance vision. If I notice a sensation that seems contradictory, I'll select it. Okay. So not this one. This one. It's the part of the vision that contradicts the insight. Now I just select the sensation I think is inconsistent, present it.
Objection!
Wait just a moment. Yes? What is it, Barbed Head? You're saying the incident occurred after the morning dance of devotion, right? That's right. What of it? Then isn't it strange that Mr. Roll could still hear the Song of Ceremony? Oh my, you're absolutely right. Is that all that troubles you? Huh? What the victim heard was just a practice run of the Song of Ceremony. Practice run? What are you talking about? Mr. Payne, if you would. Certainly. Allow me to explain. The incident occurred in the interval between the morning and afternoon dance. Hold on a second. Is this going to come up? Where it's like, includes an English translation. During that time, the singers were practicing in the performance hall. Precisely. I was there as well, so I can corroborate this statement. I see. So what the victim heard was that practice session. Ugh, there goes my contradiction. Okay, so they were practicing in this performance hall. That must be the room where Albie and I saw her benevolence dancing. However, Mr. Payne, I admit one detail troubles me. Ask away, Your Majesty. It's a big temple. The performance hall and treasure room are quite far from each other. Could the song really be heard all the way in the treasure room? He's right, it is a very big temple. Well, how about it, Mr. Payne? Your Majesty, have you forgotten? There are speakers in every room of Temple, including the treasure room. Oh, that's right. Speakers? For what purpose? Are you serious, Mr. Wright? They're to broadcast the sacred music of the performance hall throughout the temple. That's why the victim could hear the song of ceremony in the seance vision. It was the practice run going on in the performance hall heard over the speakers. Thank you for your explanation, Your Benevolence. That makes perfect sense, even to a feeble-minded old man like me. Think nothing of it. Now, if you wouldn't mind, could you please alter your insights for us? Very well. I'm getting the hang of this. She'll update her insights accordingly to the inconsistency. So I keep pointing things out, maybe I can knock all of her insights out after all. Better find another inconsistency, no matter how small. It's a bit hard to focus on the insights with the seance vision going. Try using pause to temporarily stop the vision. There, pause the vision. I think I can use B and X to jump to different parts of the vision. Okay. Mark to the flashing red panel there. Okay, now that I know how to get around in seance visions, time to find inconsistencies between the insights and the vision.
Objection!
You're saying the victim's field of vision went dark right after he was struck, correct? Of course, as anyone with eyes can see. Well, pardon me, but I must disagree. What? Your Benevolence, please take another look at the exact moment the victim felt pain. Oh. Everything goes black, and then, only after that, the victim feels pain. Inconceivable. This places the order of events at odds with what you say happened. My word. Okunka, Your Benevolence, what is the meaning of this? I cannot be wrong. My insights are beyond fallacy. If the defense says it's true, this is a very grave matter indeed. Please forgive me, Your Benevolence, but I'm afraid this contradiction is something we simply can't ignore.
Objection!
Now, let's not be too hasty, Your Majesty. I think I can clear this up. You have something to add, Mr. Payne? 1,000 apologies. It seems the prosecution has failed to make one tiny thing clear. And that would be... On the day of the incident, there was a power outage, a blackout in one part of the temple. And as I recall, the crime scene was in that sector. The power outage must be why the victim's field of vision went dark. I apologize for neglecting to tell the court this detail. I'm afraid it slipped my mind. Or rather, you knew all along and are only letting it slip now that it's convenient, Payne. The power outage knocked out both the lights and the And the speakers, huh? Oh, there was a blackout there, was there? Well, now, that explains everything, does it not? No, it doesn't. Me, your benevolence, please share your thoughts with us, if you would. The blackout occurred when the accused and the victim were faced with one another. Yet the song was still going. Fearing the victim would flee under the cover of darkness, the accused swiftly brought his weapon down on the victim's head. I see. That makes perfect sense, your benevolence. So the victim was struck after the lights went out. The depth of your insight is awe-inspiring, your benevolence. Give her a hand, everyone. Hey, I want to live long and prosper too. Enough applause. You flatter me. Now, your benevolence, in light of this new information... Yes, of course, I will alter my insight. So much for my inconsistency. At least I was able to draw out some new info. And with new info comes a chance to find new inconsistencies. Yep. I think I already know where this one's going.
Objection!
That's the gaping hole I've been looking for. Your benevolence, as impressive as your spirit communion power is, it's not infallible. You never know when to stop talking, do you? I hope you realize your words are an insult to all adherents of Kurainism. Defense, watch what you say. If you don't mind that tongue of yours, you won't want to have one left to mind. It's certainly not my intention to insult spirit mediums, but maybe I'm not the one who needs to learn when to stop talking. What malarkey. I believe you said a few moments ago that the victim could hear the Song of Ceremony thanks to the temple's speakers. But then, how do you explain how the victim could still hear the Song of Ceremony even after the power went out? No. This contradiction of facts can only mean that the Song of Ceremony Mr. Roll heard was not coming from the speakers. What? Impossible. Well, what are you saying? That the song he heard was coming directly from the performance hall? That's exactly what I'm saying. It's the only possible explanation. The scene of the crime was nowhere near the performance hall. Right. The song couldn't make it all the way to the treasure room. Not unless... You mean to say... Yes, the treasure room was not the actual scene of the crime. Must have been somewhere else, somewhere closer to the performance hall. What? You can't be serious. There's a glaring contradiction in the claims of her benevolence in the prosecution. Therefore, the defense insists that this case be thoroughly re-examined. What? No. This is completely unprecedented. An inconsistency in her benevolence's insights? Unbelievable. Heed not his forked tongue, your majesty. These are but the claims of a corrupt lawyer, a feeble ruse from a feeble mind. But the contradiction revealed by the defense is undeniable. We can't just turn a blind eye to it. But the defense's assertion is, in the end, meaningless. Even if the location of the murder turned out to be different, it doesn't change what we've seen at the moment of the murder. Indeed, the accused is standing right there in front of the victim. Furthermore, the murder weapon remains raised above his head. My insights still stand. Hate to admit it, but she's right. The seance vision still makes the situation look really grim for Albie. I doubt even the defense can dream up an explanation as to why the accused had his hands up over his head. Oh, this defense dares to dream of making it out of this nightmare alive. You what? You still insist on trying to tear down my insights, do you? You had better be prepared to back up your claim. Remember what will happen to that tongue of yours if we find you are just wagging it. Of course I can back up my claim, just as soon as I think of something. You appear to be fully prepared, defense. As the embodiment of this court, I give you permission to try and prove your claim, as long as you're willing to stake your life on it. I concur, your majesty. Where are the tongue shears? Chop chop. Chop chop? Yes, let's have the bailiff fetch them. I think I saw a suitable pair in the basement. Chop chop. Stop. I hear that lying lawyers have several tongues to spare. I'm sure he won't miss one. Yikes, these people are actually serious. I'm rather attached to my tongue. Think, Phoenix, think. Other than to raise a weapon, why would Albie have held his hands up like that? Oh, because he had a gun pointed at him. So that's why. The reason the defendant had his hands up over his head can be explained by something in the crime photo. It's gotta be this.
Take that!
The seance vision. I witnessed the defendant raise both of his hands over his head yesterday. You did? Where did you see such a thing? When the police had their guns trained on him as they made their arrest. Oh, are you saying? The victim was a security guard, and an armed one at that. The defense proposes the victim had pointed his firearm at Albie, and that's why the defendant's hands were raised in the air. Hokunka. Who would have thought the seance vision could be interpreted that way? This is not possible. It can't be. Not bad for a total knockout. How dare that lawyer devil go against her benevolence? He's no better than that traitorous snake, Dirk. Who's Dirk? Who's that? No, I can't believe it. A contradiction in one of my insights? There has to be some kind of mistake. I won't accept it. That's right, your benevolence, and I won't accept it either. It goes against all we hold sacred. Throw him in the jail immediately for lese majesty. What? Yeah, you said it. Throw him in jail. Make him pay for the way he disrespected her benevolence by pointing out contradictions. Peace. Give me peace. I said peace. Now, everyone, please calm down. Is he? Magistrate, please assign this black-hearted attorney a suitable punishment. No, I can't charge him with lese majesty? What? What? But why not, your majesty? He was simply following the proper procedure for defending the accused. There's nothing unlawful about that. But, your majesty, don't you want to wrap this trial up quickly? Why not just give your verdict? Then you can go home and make it up to your wife. We can't end the trial now, not when we just learned new information about the case. What? Your majesty, not you too. You would honestly entertain the idea that my insight contains a contradiction? Truly, it is shocking. In the 20-plus years since the DC Act went into effect, such a thing has never occurred. To be honest, I didn't want to believe it either. But with his life on the line, the defense pointed out an inconsistency, and it is our duty to scrutinize it to the satisfaction of the law. You dare go against the royal priestess, you non-believer? No, my faith is as strong as ever, but I have a duty to make a fair ruling in this trial. If you insist on interfering with that process, your benevolence, I am afraid I must request your removal from this courtroom, royal priestess or not. What? I'll have you know, your benevolence. Please acquiesce in this, your benevolence. If looks could kill, I won't forget this offense, barbed head. I do not admit defeat. I won't. Bailiff, please see her benevolence out. Your Mitama will face due retribution in the Twilight Realm. The demons there they'll pluck the barbs right off your stupid head. Ha 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 ha, I hope your suffering will be super duper painful. And I hope they throw you into a lake of burning fire. Yeah, and then, oh man. I guess she's still just a teenager after all. Now then, defense. Mr. Light, was it? That's right, Your Majesty. Phoenix Wright. Of course, Mr. Wright. My apologies. Well, now that we have this newly uncovered fact, I suggest we proceed with arguments. Thank you, Your Majesty. Yes, but do not misunderstand me. This doesn't mean I trust you completely. I'll be keeping a close eye on you, so don't even think about lying to this court. I understand, Your Majesty. Maybe now we can finally run a real trial. Arguments, Your Majesty. Very well, I accept your challenge. What's with him? Oh, the look on your face, Mr. Wright. It's just too hilarious. What's so funny, Mr. Payne? The defense still doesn't get it. The truth he unearthed is going to bury him in his case instead. What do you mean by that, prosecutor? I told you, it's chief prosecutor. Yes, because that's the thing to focus on right now. The defense is digging its own grave. Consider this, Your Majesty. Why would the victim, a security guard, point a gun at the accused? Oh. Oh, indeed, because the accused was about to commit a theft. It's the only logical explanation. What? That does sound pretty logical, actually. It doesn't help the accused's situation at all. If anything, it makes him look even more guilty. Yes, I have to agree. Allow me to spell out this truth the defense didn't bother to think through. Mr. Roll came across the accused just as he was trying to steal the treasure. The guard pointed his gun at the accused, and just when the power went out, the accused murdered the victim and hid his body in the treasure room. A hand truck for moving heavy treasure around is stored in the treasure room. The accused could have easily moved the body with that. And after all that hard work to knock down those insides, backed into the old familiar corner once more. Mr. Wright, do you have a rebuttal? I'm drawing a total blank here. I hope you're ready to climb that scaffold. I asked you a question, defense. I've got nothing. I can't think of any grounds for an objection. The only thing to do at this point is ask the defendant himself what happened. But I don't know if Albie will cooperate with me or not. Albie? Will you tell us what really happened? You don't have to say anything, accused. Fall for his evil trap and you only dirty your own soul. Albie, you have to tell me the truth. I can't help you unless you do. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry. Why won't he trust me? Is this it? Is this the end for both of us? Maya, I'm sorry. I never met a real lawyer before. Everybody always told me they're bad people who help dirty criminals go free. I never thought a lawyer would actually try to help me, would actually believe in me, would risk his own life for me. I never would have even imagined it. Albie. So, that's why I lied, to try and save myself. But I'm not going to lie anymore. You believe in me enough to put your life on the line, and I'm going to believe in you too. What? Allow me to explain. Now we're talking. Time to finally get to the bottom of things. To be honest, I went into the treasure room lots of times to look at the treasure box. And the temple told you you weren't allowed to go anywhere near it? Yes, I'm sorry. Mr. Roll even saw me once and scolded me. But that box is so beautiful, the way it glows in the dark. I couldn't help myself. Wait, it glows in the dark? That's right, it's covered in this special mineral called fluorinite. Fluorinite? That makes it glow. It's absolutely breathtaking. It's really a shame they don't put it on display for the public. Imagine how many people would go on night tours of the temple if they did. If only he applied such passion to telling me the truth earlier. On the day of the incident, I was on my way to the treasure room again, when I ran into Mr. Roll on the Great Stairs. So those were not the treasure room stairs in the seance vision. No, they were the Great Stairs that connect to the hallway. Makes sense, the vision wasn't clear enough to show us what was at the top of the stairs. All of a sudden, Mr. Roll drew his gun and threatened me with it. I quickly put my hands up. Mr. Roll, he acted so scary. For some reason, he had his scarf over his mouth. I couldn't read his expression at all. I couldn't read his expression at all. Just then, the power went out, so I took that chance to hightail it out of there. I ran for my life, even now when I try to think back on it. All I can remember are the gun and the piercing look in Mr. Roll's eyes. That must have been when I dropped the notice scroll. Which means someone else brought it to the treasure room along with Mr. Roll's body. Mr. Roll say anything to you when you ran into him on the stairs? What is it, Albie? I have no idea why, but he asked me a strange question. Did you steal it? He said. What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't say all this before. I didn't think anybody would believe me. A grand speech. One that confirmed my suspicions that you were the thief.
Objection!
It's possible the victim simply misread the situation.
Objection!
Where there's smoke, there's fire, as they say. The victim must have had good reason to be suspicious of the accused. Why does every new piece of information have to seem so incriminating? Shadoo. What do I do, Shadoo? What better reason to suspect the boy than seeing the treasure box in his hands? In the course of his rounds, the victim must have noticed the treasure had been stolen, and then, just after that, he ran into the accused, I'll be your guide. No, that's not what happened. Therefore, the one who stole the treasure and killed the victim can be none other than the accused. Okay, so there was something in the bag. What now? Oh, that's Shadoo. Down, boy. Well, what do we have here? I'm sorry about this. This is my dog, Shadoo. Ruff, ruff, ruff. He nearly gave me a heart attack. So that's what was making his bag move. Can't you quiet that yappy mutt down? Shadoo says that Mr. Roll made a mistake. You can understand him? Don't tell me this is a surprise witness or the defense. I beg your pardon. You're not thinking of cross-examining an animal, are you? No, not this time. Of course not, Your Majesty. Not this time, anyway. Yeah. Oh, boy. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I thought I'd have to reassess my assessment of your sanity for a second there. I think I'd better reassess my strategy, and fast. I have to somehow show that somebody else could have struck the victim or were sunk. While it's true that the defendant was standing in front of the victim when he died, it doesn't mean somebody else couldn't have struck the victim at that time. Yeah, I mean, considering head injury, if you look at it, it looks like the back of his head is where the injury is. So how would he get injured on the front? Also, it doesn't explain all the blood on his hand. If you're going to go that far, I hope this means you have another angle of approach ready. Exactly. I mean, who but the accused, standing front and center, could have done it? Someone behind him. Unless you can back up your claim, it's nothing more than conjecture. Okay, come on, Phoenix. I know I can think of something convincing. Where else could the victim have been struck from? I mean, here?
Take that!
The defendant standing in front of the victim. Isn't it possible the victim could have been struck from behind? From behind, you say? I see. Yes, I suppose it's not outside the realm of possibility. Good. Now at least I have some breathing room. But who do you suppose it could have been? Oh, the true culprit, naturally. The one who actually committed the theft and murder. The true culprit? And I suppose you have a true timeline of events to go along with that. I should have known I'd have to explain everything. Alright, if we assume the true culprit struck the victim from behind, then that means... After going to the treasure room and stealing the treasure, the true culprit tried to escape. But then Mr. Roll appeared, making his rounds. I imagine the culprit then quickly hid in the storeroom with the... Yeah, that makes sense. Because then he couldn't have... There's only other one way to go. You're grasping at straws, Mr. Wright. Admit it, you have nothing but baseless conjecture. I'm going to look for something to base it on right now. Albie, Ren and Mr. Roll in the hallway. Was there anyone around in the storeroom area? I don't know. There might have been somebody there, but I couldn't see. I was only halfway down the stairs, so I couldn't see the ends of that hallway. I see. Swing and a miss. Oh, Shadou says that someone was there. I see. Thank you for that. Too bad his testimony is inadmissible. You think this is a joke? Maybe the defendant didn't happen to see this other person. That doesn't mean the true culprit couldn't have been there in the hallway. Your desperate floundering is getting hard to watch. But I will enjoy watching you sink. What are you talking about? Fortunately for you, only the accused and the victim were there in that hallway at the time of the incident. How can you continue to make that assertion? Because there was a witness, a very reliable eyewitness. And now we get to meet the culprit. Your Majesty, the prosecution would like to call its witness to the stand. Calling an eyewitness to the stand, It's been decades since that's happened. And unlike the defense's witness, you can rest assured that there are no pets involved. That was a low blow. Very well, I'll allow it. And now, for something we've not heard in quite some time. Bring the witness to the stand. Oh look, it's the guy who did it. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Peace, love, and understanding. I'm like Temple's head monk, can you dig? Oh, if it isn't instructor understanding. You're the eyewitness. Instructor? Only is Mr. Understanding. Temple's head. God, God, they really went all out. They're not even trying to hide this anymore, are they? It's also a renowned Domelin expert. Sorry to have to ask, but what's a Domelin? Check it. Here she is, my sweet serenader, my one and only. Groovy, right? But you heard our sultry sounds once before, brother. Oh, I see. Doing the ceremony song. I like that it's also doing the, it's doing the, text noise, but with a reverb effect, or some kind of echo on it. Right on, brother. The Song of Ceremony. Playing this tune together is a precious gig for me and my girl here, you dig? Song of Ceremony, the song that was playing at the time of the murder. Oh, Holy Mother, may the righteous sounds of my Domelin serve as my offering to you. So, here's the thing about that insight. It didn't say what instruments were playing the song. It didn't say whether it was someone singing it or playing an instrument of it. Some gaps in knowledge here. Wonderful. A great performance, as always. This is my thing, you know. My bag. I make instruments speak, baby. By the by, Magistrate Pops. No Domelin class today? No, I'm afraid this trial has gone into overtime, thanks to the lawyer over there. The class the judge wanted to attend was a Domelin lesson? Well, you know what they say, baby. Never trust the lawyer, man. But transgressors against the Holy Mother have to be brought to justice. Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Andestanden, and that's the treasure's keeper. You must have been shocked to learn it had been stolen. Yeah, man. That was not cool. Keeping the treasure safe is one of your duties, Mr. Andestanden. That's right, brother. This here is the one and only treasure box key. And I keep it on me at all times, can you dig? The sneaky thief went and cracked open that sucker anyway. Total bummer, man. So that's the key to the treasure box, is it? You know it, baby. It's called the Magatama key, and it's a historical artifact to boot. It's been passed down from head monk to head monk at the Temple. Magatama key, huh? And now someone's jacked the treasure on my watch. It's a real buzzkill, man. I'm never gonna face Her Holiness again. Oh, Holy Mother, please find it in your infinite mercy to forgive me. Please guide this lost and humble lamb. I always get the far-out ones. Mr. Andestanden, you witnessed the accused and the victim heading to the treasure room? You know it, baby. Best believe I scoped that tiny transgressor. Would you please give the court your testimony regarding what you saw? To bring justice against the transgressor, man. Yes, of course I'll do all I can. In the name of Her Holiness, I vow to sing. Not with the truth I swear to bring. Hit me. Oh boy. Morning dance of devotion. Ooh, I'm just gonna break up the notion. I like that they're actually making it line up with that he's singing it. And then they've got this little, like, interlude to go in between, songs. They put some effort into the production values on these testimony presentations. Yeah, like the animations don't quite match up with the lines, but it's still pretty good. Or they don't match up with the repeat parts. Told me I was hallucinating just now. Like, can you believe Mr. Roll bit the big one after that? Harsh, man. Share your sentiments. You were the one who discovered the victim's body, weren't you, Mr. Understandin'? What? You found the body as well? Really is a key witness, then. That's right, brother. After the blackout, I went to reset the breaker and give power back to the people. The circuit box is near my chamber, so I'm always the man for the job, you feel me? The breakers are in the first floor hallway in front of the storeroom. So was the blackout caused by throwing the breaker? Kind of feel like that's what actually happened. The way I got a whiff of something funky, blood, man, really harshed my mellow. I knew something wasn't kosher, so I swung by the treasure room to see what was what. It was like, whoa, man, there was poor Mr. Roll dead as a doornail. The interval between the end of the Dance of Devotion and the blackout. The only ones who went to the scene of the crime were the victim and the accused. So you see, Mr. Understandin's unassailable account is what led to the accused's arrest. Hold it. Isn't it possible that the murder took place before the end of the Dance of Devotion? I'm afraid that's not possible. The victim was in the performance hall until the very end of the dance. He was? Would you like some proof? How's this? A photo of that morning's Dance of Devotion taken by a tourist. My, what graceful dancing. Almost hear the sound of Mr. Understandin's gamelan now. It's also different from the one he was playing in the courtroom. It's Mr. Roll on duty. Never underestimate the incredible pain. So in addition to Rafa's insights, he had backup evidence lined up too, huh? Said Monk, my monks in training are like my own kids, like family, can you dig it? I should have taught Albie better, man. I didn't kill Mr. Roll, so I don't have anything to confess to the Holy Mother. What? Bogus, little man. Your faith is weak like a wet paper bag. Are you feeling me? Not maybe. Alright, that one was a stretch. Holiness is magnanimous, son. If you confess your guilt, she'll forgive you in the Twilight Realm. I don't suppose she could forgive him in this realm first. Defense, please begin your cross-examination. Alright, time to pick this guy apart. dance of devotion to go back to my chamber. I got the
Hold it!
The question. Get on me, man. How dare you interrupt a performance of the great... I was really enjoying that. Sorry, but, you know, there's something about that name I can't put my finger on. What's so funny about peace? What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? You had a question for me, brother? You were playing something during the Dance of Devotion, weren't you? You know it, baby. I was playing My Beautiful Girl right here. No, you weren't. You were actually playing something different. Please, Holiness, I play the music to sing the song of ceremony. Playing is the best in the kingdom. You must please Her Holiness greatly. Now then, could you continue with your testimony, Mr. Understandin? For the Holy Mother, I keep on truckin'. Stamalad still needs some plucking. Yeah, but this... See, there's a contradiction there, but it's not actually in his statements. So I don't know if I can present it yet. I might have to look for some other way to... My chamber's on the way to the temple's treasure room. Hey, hey. Now, that is true. And it's right there.
Hold it!
Press them anyway. Please point out one more time. Yeah, man, no sweat. My chamber's on the way from the performance hall of the treasure room. So anyone going to the treasure room would have to pass by Understandin's chamber. Just love the chance. This is quickly here if anyone at the treasure room goes near.
Hold it!
Even from inside your chamber, you can still hear what's going on outside. Temple is a groovy old building built from Mother Nature's finest. You can hear a pin drop through the wooden walls, you dig? An old building like that, I guess the walls must be pretty thin. And that's how Mr. Understandin could know the culprit's movements. It's all thanks to the Holy Mother's divine protection. Right on, my man. I dedicate this testimony to Her Holiness. How could you tell it was Albie just from the sound of some footsteps? Albie's practically family, man. The smooth groove of his shoes are easy to pick out. How do you know he went to the treasure room? Didn't you think it was possible he went to the storeroom at the other end of the hall? No way, man. I saw him with my own 2 eyes. You saw him? Treasure room. I sure believe. Peepers peep, the sneaky sneak I'll be. And tell us where it is you stood when you saw the accused, if you would. Even Payne's getting in on it. Heard the footsteps, I looked out the window. Convenient. My window, I can see the window of the first floor hallway across the courtyard, you dig? And through that window, I saw Albie walking into the treasure room. Should I have him add this statement to his testimony? Could you please add that statement to your testimony, Mr. Understandin? Got it, brother. I don't know if it's the right one, but... Oh man, here, I'm gonna have to actually step away for a second. Hold on. Alright, I'm back.
Hold it!
The window, you say? That's right, brother. There's a courtyard outside the window of my chamber. Across the courtyard, I can see the window of the hallway to the treasure room, man. The diagram, I guess it's plausible. The courtyard from your chamber. How nice that must be. But it's beautiful this time of year, what with Kurai's butterflies floating about. You know what, Pops? I've been looking out in the courtyard while playing my Damalon. It goes a little something like this.
Hold it!
How can you be so sure that nobody else was there? Whoa, man. Lawyers are as uptight as they say. Is it possible that someone else could have snuck past? The answer, my friend, is squeaky wooden floorboards, baby. They make such a racket, not even the quietest cat could sneak by me, you dig? Yes, that makes sense. All of that just now was simply more of the attorney's unfounded suspicions, I see. That's the truth, baby. It's all that I sing. The truth is all. It's everything. Words of wisdom. Words of truth. Baby tooth, forsooth, phone booth. It's thanks to Mr. Understanding. Let's bring an end to defense grandstanding. You're not stopping me until my client goes free. Wait a minute, why am I singing? Right on, even the lawyer's joining in, baby. But he's starting to feel the groovy vibe in my far-out rhythm. I refuse to let him run this show. I think I found the flaw I've been looking for. Stanton was in his chamber on the second floor. There's something that definitely should have been blocking his view. Blocking his view. I don't quite get what they're going for here. Blocking his view.
Hold it!
Did I miss something at this?
Hold it!
Definitely should have been blocking his view. What should have been blocking his view? Hold on. I think I've missed something here. The growing number of... Oh! Today's incidents. Number of threats around the temple will be tightened. All the hallway shutters will remain shut today. Oh! I missed this.
Objection!
Good thing I read that. There's something off about that, Mr. Understandin'. Music is off? Sorry you feel that way, man. Maybe this vibe ain't topping the charts where you're from. What's your poison? Orchestra? Jazz? Soul? There's nothing wrong with my ears, Witness, but something's not quite with your eyes. Mr. Understandin', you've been lying to this court. Now, why would I lie? I got nothing to hide. Truth and truth alone is all I sing. Lying, y'all? No, lying ain't my thing. I contend otherwise. Do you recognize this object, Mr. Understandin'? It's a temple notice, man. What of it? In this notice, the following instruction to the temple monks is written. All of the hallway shutters will remain shut for today's dance of devotion. What you talking about, Phoenix? I'm talking about the fact that from your chamber, you couldn't have seen anyone going to the treasure room through those shutters. Yeah. It's like you didn't get the memo. No way. I don't believe it, man. You don't believe it? Why don't you read the notice for yourself? Let's see. Something, something, roll something for something, something. Is that your idea of reading? I'm not so hot at reading Kurainese, man. I usually get one of the other monks to read stuff for... So he... That's going to be important, isn't it? Doesn't that make your duties as head monk a little difficult? Hey, cut me some slack, man. I only moved to this country 6 months ago? It's quite recent, isn't it? So, how did someone who's only been here 6 months become head monk of a temple? How little you understand. Religious faith can't be measured in months or years. I've only been adherent of Kurainism for 3 months myself. The Holy Mother's teachings really spoke to me, prompting me to stay in this country. Or he saw an opportunity to profit off of it where he couldn't back home. Was it the fact that there are no lawyers here that spoke to you, Mr. Payne, I know just how you feel, my man. Her Holiness's teachings spoke to me too. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Brother Dumb and Brother Dumber. Well, I know why Payne suddenly became a believer in Kurainism. Could I understand him have had an ulterior motive for becoming a believer too? Should I understand him? Are you really in your chamber as you claim? What? Hey, be chill, brother. Weren't you instead somewhere else? Mr. Wright, what kind of nonsense are you spouting now? According to Mr. Understandin's testimony, he saw Albie with his own eyes. Therefore, is it really nonsense to suggest he could have seen Albie from somewhere else? Well, you have a theory, Defense? Do you know where Mr. Understandin was, if not in his chamber? If he wasn't in his room, then... If Albie had gone down the hallway towards the treasure room, there are only a few places he could have seen Albie from. I do have a theory, Your Majesty. Let's say the witness really did see Albie going towards the treasure room. What then? The defense proposes this is the only place he could have been to see Albie go down that hall.
Take that!
There, but you just suggested earlier, that's where the true culprit might have been. True, but no matter how I look at it, this is the only place Understandin could have been. Mr. Foreign Lawyer, don't tell me. You accusing Mr. Understandin of being the true culprit in this case? I mean, we know he did it, so... yes. Unfortunately, this is the tutorial case, so... Yes, Your Majesty, I contend there's a strong possibility this witness is the murderer.
Objection!
How dare you be so disrespectful? First you criticize her benevolence's insights, now you accuse the head monk of murder.
Objection!
I mean, if the shoe fits, this is the only place the witness could have been. If he was here, he could have struck the victim down from behind and moved his body to the treasure room. That's nothing but groundless conjecture. And there's one more thing. You remember what was said in the opening argument? During that argument, it was suggested that Albi used his position as monk in training to get his hands on the treasure. That's right, and what of it? Well, why don't we try this twist on for size? The thief used his position as head monk of the temple to get a hold of the treasure. What? You joshing me, man? The key to the treasure box has been passed down from head monk to head monk. What better position to be in if you want to steal the treasure? You can't possibly be serious. Does this mean you are claiming that Mr. Understanding's oath of faith is nothing but a lie designed to get him close to the treasure? The witness hasn't been truthful in his testimony in this court, so clearly he isn't above lying. Did you swear to the Holy Mother that naught but the truth would you bring? In light of that, I don't think it's unfair to call your faith into question.
Objection!
This is ridiculous. Are there no limits to what this lawyer will say? I mean, lie is such a strong word. Maybe it was just a mistake. Enough with the nervous wreck routine, prosecutor. You're just embarrassing yourself, man. What? What was that, Mr. Understanding? Lawyer man, you really are the lowest of the low. You've gone and said something I can't forgive. You called my belief into question, my faith in the Holy Mother. And nobody gets away with that. Not the turn I was expecting, but okay. What on earth? That music, it's making my ears bleed. This is the music of my soul. Death to the lawyer. Twilight Messenger. Tell. I'm gonna take this lawyer straight to hell. Yeah, I knew that one was coming. Now for something completely different. Yep. That plinkety-plunk music just wouldn't let me express my rage. Your rage, huh? The real source of your anger having your lie exposed. You just don't get it. If I lied, it's because you drove me to it. All sniffing around and suspicious and throwing out false accusations. Sorry, but as a lawyer, I'm afraid that's my job. Yeah, well, lawyers are crap. Keep making noise, and I'll have to use my partner here on you.
Meow. Meow, do you have something to say? Yes, I want dinner. Eat dinner a little bit.
I'm the one making noise? Hey, so you want to know the truth, huh? Think you can handle the truth, do ya? Fine. Let's see you try. For the heat of my brutal death beat. Savage challenge, right? Sweat bullets, ain't ya? I mean, that was a nice guitar solo, but we still need to hear your testimony. Did you really just win the court over with that performance? Yo, geezer, I got something to testify. Ready for the howling of my soul. I call this chart topper soul-screaming truth. Oh boy. It's come to an end. I did win. Okay. This part seems correct. Truth is what you dread. You shred. Off with your head. My spot in front of the store room. So I'll be created to the treasure room. Okay, that's not a great rhyme. Behind out of the set. On patrol after Albie he went. Sweet, back by the storeroom, can't be beat. Now with the power, take it to midnight, blacker than black as my rock in all sight. That soul metal flow. Oh boy. What's that music? I've never heard anything like it. It's so fast, it's making my head spin. Damalon metal. Oh boy. Geezer, how are those ears ringing? I don't know much about music, but I've got chills and they multiply. You scared, lawyer man? Run away fast as you can. Wonderful rhythm. Perfect accompaniment for further deliberations. Now, Mr. Understanding, what did you go to the music storeroom for? Hey, I went to put on my Damalon way. He's my precious partner. Ah, this is where this is going to come in. Give her a good rest after playing the... Yeah, because he didn't play this one. Why did you lie before? Because you'd send me to hell. Huh? I don't know about lawyers and their lying, lawyerly ways. Am I right, people? If I admitted I went to the storeroom, he'd have drummed up a false charge on me. I didn't want to get sent to hell. What do you say? I think you're gonna dig yourself a hole anyway. Punk's ready to rock or what? Oh boy. Okay, I get it. We're gonna cross-examine you now. Oh boy.
Hold it!
You say you went to the music storeroom, but how do you know you didn't go to the treasure room to steal the treasure instead? And on what grounds did you base that accusation? Got anything to show for it? That's right, I don't really have any proof, and yet... Well, you can't prove that you didn't go to the treasure room either. Stole the treasure and were ready to make your getaway when you saw Mr. Roll. So you panicked and ran into the music storeroom, isn't that right? Why do I feel like I'm being stabbed by icy stares from every direction? Silence is your answer, lawyer man. This audience knows the score. A moment of silence. Oh boy. Why do they hate lawyers so much in this country? Yeah, okay. So this part's probably fine. Death Truth.
Hold it!
So what exactly do you mean by Death Truth? The Blade of Truth is gonna send your lawyer soul to hell. Sea of Blood will be the last thing you ever see. I'm not sure I want to get what he's saying. Oh boy.
Hold it!
No comment about his rhyming. Think of it, he's glancing around all shifty-like. You could tell he was up to no good. Shady, I tell you. What's that saying about people who live in glass houses? He's about to steal the treasure, so it only stands to reason he looked further.
Objection!
The defendant admitted he was sneaking in to see the treasure box. Wouldn't that be why he was looking around? What's that, people? Only the Holy Mother knows the truth, you say? Bzz, wrong. Preslovin knows the score, baby. My lips to our Holy Mother's ear, an artist only sings what he saw there. In other words, his rhyming is getting worse. But we need something a little stronger in terms of proof.
I know, it's coming soon. I know.
Hold it!
He tells me that this is going to be a spectacular waste of time, but what do you mean by hound on the scent? What? You don't get it? It's always the same, y'all. Lyrics question without mercy. The more famous the song, the greater the controversy. It wasn't your lyrical sense I was questioning. Hound on the scent like a hunting dog, because, you know, Roll was a guard, and here we go. Suddenly like a flash. That's okay. You don't have to explain your lyrics anymore. Hey, you're the one who asked. You shouldn't have asked. Mr. Understanding, you're still on the stand, so please stick to your testimony. You can explain your lyrics to me later in Damalon class. Fine, have your worry, geezer. Show must go on. Slash and thrash. I'll do this one first, because I think the other one's the one that's going to be the kicker. Like I said, I was in the music storeroom. The girl had been sounding a little off, so I had to get her back in tune. Isn't it true that you were actually in the hallway at that time? Why would I be in the hallway? You were waiting for Mr. Roll to come back from his patrol of the treasure room. Now that he discovered the treasure had been stolen, you were going to kill him. Evidence tenuous. Nice, prosecutor. Picking up what you're throwing down. Someone stop their jam session, please. You made your assertions clear, defense, but your argument is rather unsubstantiated. That's not good. What's so funny, peace-loving understanding? Nevertheless, the possibility is still there. You can't deny the witness could have killed the victim under cover of darkness. You're forgetting one very important thing. Huh? It seems you've forgotten that the outage happened by chance, not design. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. I did forget about that. It's not like the witness planned the outage so he could take advantage of the darkness. And without darkness, it would have been hard to sneak up behind Mr. Roll and kill him. I mean, he could have switched the breaker off on purpose. What do you have to say about that? What can I say about that? It's Right, your claim is completely without merit, unless you want to argue that the witness somehow magically made the outage happen. I mean, it doesn't really need magic. Pretend the witness could have made the power outage happen, with no magic necessary. What? The theory defense? Yeah, I mean, it's right here. Right where he was standing. Right next to where he was standing.
Take that!
Witness was in the storeroom. The circuit box is in the storeroom end of the hallway. There's nothing really magical about turning off the breaker, would you say? Nice try, but that theory doesn't hold water, lawyer man. And why not? You're saying I turned the breaker off and then snuck up on Mr. Roll and hit him? In pitch black darkness, with no source of light whatsoever? Is that what you're saying? Haha. The light's off, that hallway is blacker than 100 midnights. Yeah, but the box glows in the dark, so if you stole it... I hate when he's right, but I can't just let his point stand. Well, maybe the victim was holding something that served as a guide. Guide through the darkness? Something? That's more than a little vague, wouldn't you agree? Ain't gonna move this room with a half-baked hunch like that, bro. Gotta hit him hard, really make him feel it, you hear me? It's like my verse, baby. Woo. Well, I'm afraid I don't understand the witness's lyrics very well either, but in a trial, your arguments have to be clear and precise. Let's see some of that clarity and precision now, defense. Can you present to us something that could have served as a guide to the darkness? I mean, in theory I can. Because there has to be something. Alright, let's see what you have, defense. The victim have been holding that serves as a guide. This thing that glows in the dark, maybe? The treasure box. Have you gone mad? Well, the box glows in the dark, so you could use it as a sort of beacon. Well, I guess you're right. But why in the world would the victim be holding the treasure box? Oh, well, because your guess is as good as mine. Okay, so maybe I jumped the gun a little on this one. Is there no way to win them over? Defense. Are we going to be needing those tongue shears after all? No, your majesty. Yeah, man, do it, do it! Then we can jam out this lawyer's shrieks of pain. Yeah, I guess I'd better come up with a reason. No pressure or anything. As to why the victim is holding the treasure box, easily be explained as thus. Rain, don't fail me now. I mean, I don't think he was the thief. And, I mean, I'm sure he's a devout believer, but I don't know what that has to do with anything. I'm assuming it's because he was a security guard. Beg your pardon? Mr. Roll removed the treasure from the treasure room in order to protect it. What on earth are you talking about? He must have known that the treasure would be stolen on that day. Maybe he'd received a warning from the culprit. And so, before the treasure could be stolen, Mr. Roll decided to take it somewhere safe. I mean, this is some massive conjecture here, but...
Objection!
Magistrate, don't let the defense's forked tongue deceive you. The victim had even an inkling of a potential theft. Surely he would have let the temple authorities know. Oh, you're right.
You need to go to bed. Go to bed. You're a cat.
He never mentioned a word of anything like that to me, and I'm the head monk. I'm suddenly not so confident about that answer. Whew, just came dangerously close to having my soul sullied by this lawyer's lies. I'm not lying. Guess I better try again. What reason could the victim possibly have had for holding that treasure box? Yeah, unfortunately it is getting kind of late, so I do think I'm gonna have to wrap it up right now. I do have work in the morning. I can't be up too late. So, yeah, I think we're gonna have to. Stop it here and pick this up next time, probably tomorrow. We'll get started on it at least. I thought might be able to get the whole thing, or at least a good stopping point, but I'll just have to get to it next time. But hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, guess that'll be it for now. Talk to you later, or catch you later. Have a good evening.